KOGI withdraws contempt charge against MLC TUC. KOGI Commissioner for Information and Communication FANWO appeals federal government to fund MBC. OBASEKI wants to impeach me. Edo Deputy Governor SHUAIBU shouts. Public debt expected to fail in most Pacific countries. World Banks. In sports, the Premier League is investigating Chelsea for potential financial rule breaches during Roman Abramovich's ownership of the club. Welcome to MLC TV Global News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the Confluence State of Nigeria. I am Jennifer Udimayo. Thanks for joining us. The federal government has withdrawn the contempt charge against the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Trade Union Congress of Nigeria (TUC), and their leaders 4 days before the expiration of the ultimatum by NLC to the government to withdraw the contempt summons or face indefinite nationwide strike. In a letter to Falana and Falana Chambers, Counsel to NLC, Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, BEJD Agba, stated the attention of the Federal Ministry of Justice has been drawn to the communique issued by the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) on August 3, 2023, wherein NLC announced the suspension of its nationwide protest and criticized the contempt summons issued by the National Industrial Court, amongst other issues. It recalls the exchange of the correspondence between the ministry and the office on the need for compliance with the Essent Court orders restraining industrial action of any kind on the part of Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress. The position of the ministry was informed by the need to safeguard the integrity of the court and prevent avoidable service disruption or damages to public facilities. However, despite these exchanges, interventions, the labor unions on 2nd August 2023 proceeded with the industrial action through public protest, which led to disruption of work and the eventual pulling down of the gate of the National Assembly. The foregoing prompted the ministry to initiate contempt proceedings by filing Form 48 on the same 2nd August 2023. In accordance with Section 72 of the Sheriffs and Civil Process Act and Order 9 Rule 13 of the Judgment Enforcement Rules, it is tried that issuance of Form 48 is just the starting point in contempt proceedings, which will only crystallize upon the issuance of Form 49 and the consequential committal order. Upon the intervention of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the decision of the labor unions to call off their industrial action after meeting with the President and leadership of the National Assembly, this ministry did not proceed further with contempt proceedings, which would have required the issuance of Form 49 within 2 days of issuance of Form 48. It is self-evident that the non-issuance of Form 49 as of 4th August 2023 renders the contempt proceedings inchoate. You may therefore wish to advise or guide the labor unions on the practice and procedures of contempt proceedings, particularly to the effect that the issues or concern raised by NLC in its communique on the proceedings have been taken by events. KOGI State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley FANWO, has charged the National Broadcasting Commission to put in place a legislative framework to ensure government funding of the commission to reduce pressure on broadcast organizations. FANWO made this call at the MBC meeting with industry stakeholders in Kano. He said a regulator such as the MBC should receive significant funding from the federal government. He commended MBC for their excellent performances in regulating the industry and ensuring sanity in broadcast industry. FANWO said the nation would have gone into flames without the effective regulatory framework of MBC. He urged the Commission to maintain its eagle eye on the industry and make it even better. He, however, stated that it is time for the Commission to put in place a legislative framework that will ensure adequate funding from the government, saying it is a key to the financial health of the Commission as the nation struggles to get her balance after the well-intended removal of fuel subsidy. And now it has become clear that the broadcast stations in the country can no longer take the sole responsibility of funding MBC. Earlier, the Director General of the MBC, Bello, charged broadcast organizations to be up to date with their license renewal so as not to have them revoked by the Commission. He said the commission has also come up with payment plans that will make payment convenient for all the broadcast stations in the country. The meeting was attended by information commissioners from all the 19 northern states as well as heads of broadcast nations in northern Nigeria. The chairman, Federated Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Abu Michael, has expressed gratitude to Governor Yahaya Bello for his intervention in the worsening medical condition of one of its members, Ali Edo, publisher of Prime newspaper. Abu Michael disclosed on Tuesday when he visited him in his house in Lokoja preparatory to the surgery. The Federated Chairman thanked Governor Bello for facilitating the eye surgery. Said the news of the release of funds for the surgery of Edo by the governor has once again proven that governor is a father to all. Abu wished him a successful surgery, prayed for the success of the administration and urged the citizenry to support the policies and programs of Governor Yahaya Bello. In his remark, Ali Edo, publisher of Prime newspaper, said he is overwhelmed by the show of love by Governor Bello and wished the administration well in its future endeavor. Ali Edo hails from Omala local government area of Kogi State and has been bedridden for over a year following impaired vision. Was full of joy that with the intervention by the state government, hopes to regain his sight as soon as possible. No fewer than 50 individuals have been engaged in the Metaverse Foreign Exchange Incorporation Median Edition Seminar. The seminar was channeled at empowering KOGI state citizens to benefit from the digital economic provided by the MTFA platform. MTFA CEO Joel Ibok, while speaking at the one-day seminar, described it as apt and timely to share digital knowledge that will enable people more and live a better life. Our reporter Abiodun Sadiq has more.
It was a massive turnout as the Canadian forex company Metaverse Foreign Exchange Incorporation has extended its trade opportunity to young and old people of Kogi State through a mega seminar held in Lokoja. Speaking at the event, CEO of MTFE Lokoja Kogi, Joel Ibok, and the incoming CEO of MTFE Ajaokuta, Imam of Ajaokuta, Usman Taid, educate and assures participants of the credibility of trading with MTFE as they share their profitable experience from their investment with MTFE.
Because without MTFE and other brokers intermediating between the banks and the mega organizations, we cannot access the market.
Come up with the fact that this is real, this is genuine, this is tangible. If it's a crime to change the life of my people, then I should be listed #1 criminal.
In its outlook for the past 6 months of operation in Kogi State, Joel Ibok spoke on criteria and easy accessibility to trade with MTFE through its mobile app regardless of individual demography.
MTFE being a Canadian broker, they are highly regulated, not only in Canada but also in Australia, which has the strictest regulatory authority. That is to say that clients' funds are safe and the processes of doing business with them is very easy and swift, both funding and withdrawal. Many people actually testify about their withdrawing. In fact, my heart is filled with joy because one of the MTFE members bought a car and came to the meeting today with the car and his family. The criteria that people need is once you're able to have your NIN, meaning an adult, I'm expecting this from 18 years and above, because for the younger people, we expect them to go to school. We are all for education. Then for those who are up to 18 who want to start an investment, MTF is a good platform for them. Then the elderly, we have grandmothers.
Older investors from different walks of life who are earned financially from trading with the company also shares their experiences.
Actually, MCFE is a variety of crypto platform. It has been a wonderful platform. It gives a financial freedom. That's the first thing that I think I actually enjoy with MCFE. Moreover, if you choose to do it manually, you can do it, but there is a robot that do the online trading for you. So all what you need to do is just to open your AI on Monday and leave it for you to trade. So we have a lot of options that make it different from other ones. So those other financial currency can actually crash. Yes, they can crash anytime. While MCFE is the #1 among all.
Joel Ibok encouraging interested individuals to do personal checks and research on the company before investing or visit their office in Lokoja for inquiries. I am Abiodun Sadiq reporting for MLC TV.
KOGI state indigenes under the aegis of KOGI Indigenes Collective Interest Group have described allegations levied against Governor Bello by one Jackson Ude as unfounded and irresponsible, as his stock in trade is to blackmail responsible citizens. While responding to allegations through tweets, the concerned citizens identified Ude as a notorious fake news merchant, even as they threatened to institute legal action against him. Recall that Jackson Ude had alleged that Governor Bello bribed the tribunal judges to influence their judgment in favor of his candidate in the last National State Assembly election. According to them, Jackson Ude has turned himself into the laughingstock of social media. The group disclosed that Jackson Ude has been notorious for raising absolutely unfounded allegations to blackmail politicians, exposed persons. The statement signed by the coordinator, KOGI, Chief Abdul Ganiye Yusuf, on behalf of the indigenes from across the 21 local government areas of Kogi State, accused Ude of being a hireling of failed politicians who were desperate to use all foul tactics to pursue their dubious objectives. He said their intervention has become incumbent because in his characteristic nature, Governor Yahaya Bello may overlook what this fake news criminal has done and allow him to go scot-free. But as patriotic indigenes of this blessed state won't allow that to happen. They promise to fight to defend the integrity of the state by protecting the governor from a social media rogue who misuse his page for criminal libel and blackmail. We'll go for a short break. We'll be back in a moment. Do stay with us.
MLC TV Online is here. For your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news, choose MLC TV. Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV. With entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. The Acting Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Bashar Adewale Adeniyi, has outlined prerequisites for the resumption of activities at the land borders across the nation. During his visit to the Nigerian Customs Service, Ogun 1 Command in Idiroko, Ogun State, Adeniyi conveyed that the NCS would consider revising certain policies if border communities exhibit a high level of compliance. One of the policies subject to revision, as stated by the custom head, is the evaluation of the regulation governing the distribution of premium motor spirit (PMS) to gas stations situated within 20 kilometers of the country's border. Adeniyi expressed they have received various concerns from border communities, some of which fall outside the direct jurisdiction of the Customs Service. However, they are collaborating with appropriate government bodies and will propose policy reviews when circumstances demand at the borders. He said if they observe adherence to import and export regulations in their vicinity, coupled with community support for government agencies enforcing these laws. If they witness the collaboration between the communities and government agencies, they will consider recommending the review of border closure. the allowance of used car import via borders, and especially due to subsidy removal, they may suggest revising restrictions on petrol stations in proximity to the borders. Adeniyi urged the officers at the Ogun 1 Command to maintain focus and renew their commitment to upholding national and regional security. He emphasized the purpose is to stress the significance of remaining dedicated to the cause of national and regional security. Idiroko stands as a pivotal entry point into Nigeria and the Benin Republic, extending to the wider sub-region. Thus, they cannot afford to permit criminals who exploit their borders to engage in activities detrimental to the national security. He added, their shared mandate is to prevent criminals who exploit their borders for various illicit activities, be it smuggling, human trafficking, drug trafficking, or threats to public health. Custom understands that no single agency can combat these challenges alone. Collaboration is essential. In politics, Edo Deputy Governor Philip SHUAIBU has alleged Governor Godwin Obaseki has perfected a plot to impeach him. He requested special court protection from Obaseki's impeachment plot so that he can function as deputy governor of the South-South state. SHUAIBU, in a suit filed at the Federal High Court Abuja, listed the Inspector General of Police, State Security Service, Edo Governor, Edo Speaker, and Edo Chief Judge as defendant. He alleged the governor was using security operatives as well as Edo Speaker and Chief Judge to perfect the plot to have him impeached. In the affidavit he swore to cited by the nation, he alleged that he knew that this case is all about the action of the third defendant in preventing him from carrying out the functions of his office deputy governor of Edo State, the first and second defendant to harass, intimidate, and embarrass him with the fourth and fifth defendant in tandem with the desire of the third defendant to impeach him. The third defendant has hatched plans to impeach him, and the court needs to urgently intervene by restraining him and all other defendants acting in concert with him. It was gathered the feud between Obaseki and SHUAIBU started after the deputy governor was cited with Senator Adams Oshomole during the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in Abuja in a viral video. The governor, it was learnt, invited all the members of the Edo Assembly to his mansion to discuss the developments in Benin without his deputy. The deputy governor, who reportedly got wind of the meeting, was said to have driven hurriedly to the mansion but was turned down at the entrance of the mansion. SHUAIBU was reportedly told by DSS operatives that he was not on the list of invitees, a development that left him humiliated. The deputy governor was said to have resorted to legal battles to save his job and career. On crime, in light of an investigation into the tragic death of Dr. Deaso Uwari from an elevator crash at General Hospital Odan, the Lagos State government says it has sacked and blacklisted the facility managers responsible and suspended the general manager of the Lagos State Infrastructure and Asset Management Agency. Uwari's death was met with outrage following reports of her death resulting from an elevator that plunged several floors at the house officers' quarters of the hospital and unsuccessful efforts to revive her. The permanent secretary, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Olumide Shogunle, in a statement revealed the initial findings of its panel of inquiry, saying the state government had taken several actions. In addition to the sacking and blacklisting of the facility managers and the La Simons board's immediate suspension, Shogunle disclosed that the operation and line of reporting of the facility managers had been restructured to involve the hospital management directly, and they have handed the installation and maintenance contractors to the police for further investigation and likely prosecution if they are found culpable. The police will also investigate anyone else that might have been found to be negligent. From our foreign desk, Britain said it had struck a deal with Turkey in a bid to slow the flow of illegal immigrants passing through the Mediterranean country on their way to Europe, including joint police operations against smuggler rings and the trade in both parts. With the issue of illegal migration high on the political agenda in Britain ahead of an expected election next year, the government said it would support a new Turkish police center that would build on existing cooperation over new enforcement. Customs data would be exchanged more quickly under the new Memorandum of Understanding, the British government said in a statement. The Interior Minister, Suella Braverman, stated that their partnership with Turkey, a close friend and ally, will enable their law enforcement agency to work together on the international problem and tackle the small boat supply chain. Britain Prime Minister Rishi Sunak made cutting the number of illegal migrants arriving in Britain a key pledge for this year as he tried to narrow the wide lead of the opposition Labour Party in opinion polls. This week, Britain began moving some migrants onto a large residential barge on its southern coast, part of plans to remove what the government called the pool of hotels for those arriving on the country's shores in small boats. The World Bank, according to its report release, stated that public debt in most specific countries is expected to fall in the next 12 months as countries move towards the gradual unwinding of COVID-19 stimulus and the fiscal situation improves. The Pacific Economic Update also said, in line with the fiscal consolidation effort, public debt is projected to decline during 2023 to 2024 across the Pacific, except in Solomon Islands and Federated State of Micronesia. Debt has surged in the region since 2019 as the tourism-dependent economies were hit by COVID border closures. Trade was hurt by logical challenges and weather events caused damage. Countries took on more debt to implement support and stimulus packages. This was particularly notable in tourist-dependent countries such as Fiji, Palau, and Vanuatu. The World Bank has previously said 6 Pacific countries, Kiribati, Republic of the Marshall Islands, Federated State of Micronesia, Samoa, Tonga, and Tuvalu, are at a high risk of debt distress. However, Tuesday's report added that the fiscal deficit widened in Solomon Islands and FSM. The governments are expected to increase borrowing to meet the financial gap. It added that in terms of economic output, most Pacific countries except Palau, Samoa, and Solomon Islands are projected to hit pre-pandemic gross domestic product levels by 2024. In contrast, some countries where fishing license revenue is a dominant distributor to income, such as Kiribati and Republic of the Marshall Islands, surpassed pre-pandemic levels in 2021 because the fishing sector was less impacted by border closure. The report added that risk remained, including uncertainty in global commodity price movement and geopolitical tensions serve as downside risk to the Pacific's economic recovery. Given the region's vulnerability to disaster, climate change is a persistent major underlying risk, it's added. On sports updates, let's join Jonah Malik on the latest.
Hello and glad to have you on Sports Update on MLC TV Global News. Premier League investigating Chelsea for potential financial breaches during Roman Abramovich ownership. Chelsea's new owners reported their own club to UEFA and the Premier League after their takeover in 2022. If found guilty of the rules breaches, sanctions could include a fine or point deduction. In July, UEFA fined Chelsea £8.6 million for incomplete financial information. Jason Bott from The Telegraph examined how much of a concern it is for Chelsea that the Premier League is investigating the club for potential financial rules breaches during Roman Abramovich ownership of the club. At present, Chelsea have not been charged with anything by the Premier League. If they were found guilty of rules breaches, sanctions could include a fine or a point deduction. On 28 July, UEFA announced they had fined Chelsea €10 million, equivalent to £8.6 million for submitting incomplete financial information between 2012 and 2019. When approached by Sky Sport News, Chelsea chose not to comment. And that's all on Sports Update. I am Jonah Malik reporting. Back to Akasta for more stories.
Thank you, Jonah. And now we relax our nerves with the latest on the entertainment world by Joy Dada.
Welcome to today's entertainment segment. I am Joy Dada. Spotify has begun rolling out DJ in beta to premium users in Nigeria, which is set to further connect artists and fans in a deeper, more meaningful way. The beauty of this experience is the AI's ability to deliver the right piece of music for the exact moment in time and maybe even connect listeners with their next favorite artist in the process. DJ is a personalized AI guide that knows listeners and their music taste so well, and it can choose what to play for them at different points of the day. This feature, first rolling out in beta, will deliver a curated lineup of music alongside commentary around the tracks and artists in a stunningly realistic voice. Still an entertainment, Canadian rapper and singer Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Mega Pet aka Meg The Stallion. The entertainer was found guilty on 3 gun-related charges in December 2022, which include assault with a semi-automatic handgun, carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Following that he was held in a county jail, he was convicted of shooting fellow entertainer and Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot during an argument after they left Kylie Jenner's party in 2020 and faced a maximum of 22 years and 8 months in prison. The shooting left Meg needing surgery to remove bullet fragments from her foot. Lanez's defense team, on the other hand, requested for a probation as well as a residential drug treatment program that will help to curb his alcohol problems. During the hearing, the California state judge read summaries of 76 supportive letters he received from Mr. Lanez's fans and supporters to the court, one of which was from fellow rapper Iggy Azalea. Many social media users and since then taken to social media taking side on this case, while some felt that Lanez's conviction was well deserved. Others felt that 10 years was too harsh a sentence for a graceful. Thanks for joining me. I am Joy Dada reporting for MLC TV.
Thank you, Joy. That is the size of our package today. Please join us tomorrow at this same hour for your global news. Our social media handles remains the same. YouTube channel Malachi TV. Facebook pages are MLC TV, MLC TV2, MLC TV Yoruba and Ebiravabe MLC TV. Instagram MLC TV 2021. Twitter Malachi TV. TikTok Malachite_TV. Threads Malachi TV. To be part of our group, please keep sharing our news for more subscriptions. You can also send your comments, contributions, invitation to your event via any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us on weekends and weekdays to watch our special programs. Saturday 7 p.m. Political Arena, Sunday 6 p.m. Women's World, Monday 9 p.m. The Opinion. Please drop your comments on our comment box as you watch our programs. It is Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. Please continue to be your neighbor's keepers to build a happier and better society together. I am Jennifer Odimayo. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.